I got places to be, a face to fix, and oh, bad guys to kill.
I don't know what you heard about me. And well done.
Most of the time I run away because non-celebrities frighten me.
Hello, Upper East Side. My friends, how are you? I have been so busy with this project because every time I was about to publish it, I would fall down another hole. Tonight, we're just going to do it, and I'll just make another one if we need to. Let's get into this. Blake Lively hiring an ex-CIA agent.
Because we're just reaching levels of absurdity that are offending my sensibilities, right? First and foremost, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public to help her with PR. Also, they moved to do this within the same 24 hours that I started randomly getting attacked for my coverage of Blake Lively. Remember yesterday we talked about The Cut. We're going to speak about that again because that journalist has got some deranged ideas of her own. And then I just found out more about this very interesting background of E.J. Dixon. Also, the judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request for 2.5 years worth of every message that Justin Baldoni and Justin Heath and the PR agents have ever sent to everybody, plus location data. We knew that was...
I have questions. If Blake Lively's decision to hire Nick Shapiro, former high-ranking CIA operative, as her crisis manager, this is so much bigger than a little tiff on a set.
So say you're a producer and you want to make a war film.
To try and find out whether the Pentagon might be interested, you would walk into the entertainment liaison office in downtown Los Angeles.
You say, I want to film an Air Force base, or I want an aircraft carrier, or I want some Black Hawk helicopters, or whatever it is.
And they would tell you straight away, give us your entire script.
We've worked with Mr. Bay here since Armageddon, if I'm not mistaken, and hope to do more of the same.
I've got a direct line to the Pentagon.
Some people probably would say, well, yeah, I've heard of this, like, Top Gun, maybe Black Hawk Down, maybe some of the Marvel series.
But what they don't know is how systematic this has been and how huge this operation has been.
You can call it censorship, you can call it propaganda. It's all of these things.
Now these freedom of information requests that have been successful allow us to actually look at that list, and it's stunning.
What we've found is that thousands upon thousands upon thousands of products have been affected and are often rewritten at script level by the national security state in the United States. Do normal people know about that? No, of course they don't.
Why does the CIA need to get involved? Anyone associated with the CIA? I have no idea. Where we're going to start is I looked into Shapiro, as you do.
All right. So I'm a real person, and as for my height, I'm 6'3".
Don't even tell me that this kid is the keynote speaker. And you know, in 2018, he's the keynote speaker on Trust, the Fundamental Currency of the Sharing Economy by Nick Shapiro. Did he not just say that he was 6'3"? Because Obama is 6'3", you can Google it. I don't think that this picture is showing two 6'3" men standing next to each other. Nick? Unless you photoshopped the picture of you and the president, you are not 6'3".
Trust me. This is actually going to be the best No Identity 2008 keynote that you've ever heard. Trust me. All of you who are selling products here today, you're going to have so many new clients by the end of this conference. Trust me.
Oh, this is satire. I should have watched it.
I was just putting this together. If anyone wants to watch any more of this snooze fest, it's satire. Okay. So he's not 6'3". That makes sense.
As soon as someone asserts their honesty, like I did by saying, trust me, it's human nature to immediately start looking for proof to back that up. My name is Nick Shapiro. I'm the global head of trust and risk management at Airbnb. And I'm here to talk about why that is. Trust isn't something that you can tell people to do. It's not something you get just because you ask for it. And you can't buy it, even in a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign. So before I was global head of trust and risk at Airbnb, I was the deputy chief of staff for the CIA. I was a senior counterterrorism, homeland security aide to President Obama in the White House. And I realized when I left government, I had no idea what I was going to do. I left about 3 years ago, and by the looks of it, I'm really glad I did. But I didn't know what was going to happen. I up and moved to San Francisco. I'd been to Yemen more times than I'd been to San Francisco. And when I got there, I realized I was a little different than everybody else. From all my meetings, every corner of Silicon Valley, I discovered everyone was so optimistic. Brilliant, but I mean really optimistic. And I realized, I think I brought the healthy counterbalance of the extreme optimism of Silicon Valley with me. As Philip and Anish and many folks at Airbnb here today will attest to, I'm the guy no one likes to invite to a meeting. Right? I'm the buzzkill. I'm the guy who says, no, we can't do that. Are you crazy? Right? But right now, before we get into it, we're going to see how optimistic all of you guys are. So I want everyone to take out their phones. Okay? I want you to unlock your phone and just hand it to the perfect stranger behind you. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious. I'm just going to stand here, or I'm going to bring him back up to talk about online dating. So seriously, hand your phone over. It won't be that long, I promise. Unlock it and hand it over. So now, that tiny, maybe large sense of panic you're feeling, right? The longer I talk, the longer someone else is holding your unlocked phone. That's how Airbnb hosts feel the first time they open up their homes. Okay, give back your phone before someone has a heart attack.
Just like I said, he was previously the CIA's deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to the director. Okay. He also served in the White House as a senior counterterrorism and homeland security aide to the National Security Council. He was also a national security spokesperson for President Obama. Obama is about to have his own video that will go with the satanic cults and the MK Ultra's humiliation rituals that go into the Illuminati. We're not even allowed to say that. So whenever I reference dark side or deep state, I'm talking about as the crisis manager for Obama, Obama killed more people by drone attacks than any other president had in the history of being a president. Obama has a really, really bad track record. If you look he's very charismatic, don't get me wrong. But the decisions that he made, I think he's the Antichrist. I've said that before. Let me remind you of the CIA crisis that Nick Shapiro has either been trained or has dealt with in the past. MK Ultra, domestic wiretapping, security failures, counterintelligence failures, human rights violations, external investigations, document releases, influencing public opinion, influencing law enforcement, the CIA's recruitment of Nazis, Iran-Contra, drug trafficking, lying to the Congress, Wikipedia editing, covert programs hidden from Congress, an intelligence committee investigation, the use of a vaccination program, quote, in the hunt for Osama bin Laden, the improper search of computers used by the Senate investigators, the resignation of officials and agents who would not work for Donald Trump, and don't forget the WikiLeaks disclosure of the CIA's cyber tools. I would say that Nick Shapiro has a Harvard degree in handling crisis management. He reported directly to John Brennan. According to the book, The Worst President in History, The Legacy of Barack Obama, by Matt Margolis and Mark Coonan, John Brennan served as Obama's Homeland Security advisor during his first term. He had been Obama's original pick for CIA director back in 2009, but was forced to withdraw because of Democratic opposition. Liberated by his re-election, Obama's road to handling the CIA would not be easy. Brennan, the architect of Obama's controversial drone program, also helped construct and justify the administration's claim that it can kill people, including American citizens, abroad, on its own authority, even when those people are not in countries with which we are at war. During his Senate committee hearing, Brennan claimed that due process is not necessary to kill Americans. What he's saying right here is, first of all, he's admitting to murdering people. He's also telling me he has no empathy and he doesn't value life. Those are socio-psychopathic tendencies. I really have been listening to a lot of Candace, and I love that she's saying with a platform all this stuff like Sigmund Freud was protecting a pedophile. Anyway, during his Senate committee hearing, I just said that he claimed that due process was not necessary. First of all, you have the right to a fair trial. Oh, because he had quoted that to the Senate. Given Brennan's controversial history, including his role in enhanced interrogation, we've heard about that. There are 4 people, they might be out of prison by now, but there are at least 4. His role in drone warfare expansion and mass surveillance operation, end quote. Shapiro's close association with him further underscores his expertise. You can hear I don't know if they were armed, I guess maybe Navy, whoever's controlling. I think what it's also telling us is this is way bigger than Hollywood. There are people and organizations involved that are bigger than Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Back to connecting the dots. I could not find, and I didn't even reach out to our lovely dear friends on our research team. I just went headfirst into this rabbit hole. When I started connecting the dots to Ryan Reynolds' financial timeline, there are holes. And I spent probably 2 hours or 3 hours, it felt like forever, on the SEC website. It's not public. They did I'll put the SEC files up. I can't find because it's not public. They didn't make it public. So as you're connecting the dots to Ryan's financial timeline and his mysterious rise, literally who makes $600 million in 2 years? And that's just the beginning. Where did all of his money come from? Okay, and if you're thinking that it came from Deadpool, you're right. He made money on Deadpool. According to MSN, the first Deadpool movie made $22 million. And in Deadpool 2, he likely earned between $30 and $40 million. The film was a great success, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's nice. That does not answer where he got the original money for his first investment. His first investment is in 2018. He buys into Aviation Gin. I'll put some of the cringy commercials in here.
Reynolds made $350 million. In 2018, he bought stake in Aviation Gin, becoming the brand's creative director. 2 years later, it sold for $610 million. He then bought Mint Mobile in 2019, which T-Mobile later acquired for $1.35 billion. He's also an investor in 1Password, which is valued at $6.8 billion. And of course, Reynolds was reportedly one of the world's highest paid actors in 2017, earning an estimated $21.5 million. So what are the takeaways here? 1. To build wealth, your day job as the cash that will be invested in your future. And 2, to go and be hot. How Ryan Reynolds made $350 million.
It's Father's Day, but if you don't mind, we're gonna celebrate with the mother of all cocktails, the vasectomy. Let me show you how to make it. First, fill a tall glass with ice, the way children fill our lives with so much joy. Next, pour 1 ounce of cranberry juice, sweet, just like their little smiles. Then, pour 3 ounces of tonic, so bubbly. Then, pour 3 ounces of tonic, so bubbly, just like I feel every day I wake up after a long, full night's sleep. Now, add a dash of lemon juice. Fresh if you have a few minutes to squeeze one, or store-bought if the little ones have you running around a bit today, the little scamps. Finally, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of Aviation American Gin, the world's highest rated gin for the world's highest rated job. Dad. Finally, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of Aviation American Gin. Stir. And then we're going to garnish with a little slice of sunshine. Now that is as refreshing as fatherhood. Well, something I call the vasectomy for no reason at all. Happy Father's Day, everyone. When people see this, they're gonna be like, has he ever been outside? You know, people come up to me all the time and they say, what makes Aviation Gin so delicious? Most of the time I run away because non-celebrities frighten me. But here,
he launches Maximum Effort. Maximum Effort is Ryan Reynolds' marketing media company. Okay, so even if you had $50 million, it doesn't add up. Then in 2019, he bought into Mint Mobile, 20 to 25% of Mint Mobile. He's now, okay, so if we're covering our basis as a businessman, I'm going to say the face. We have a marketing and media company, marketing and media. Now we have the highly regulated telecom industry. Then, okay, so then Diego, in 2020, Diego buys Aviation Gin for $610 million. a deal that has been linked to offshore tax havens and Diddy. Remember? Diddy's financial conflicts. Wealthsimple in 2021, he invested around $750 million. They were backed by BlackRock and Power Corporation of Canada. I should also say, I'm going to get to it. In 2022, he invested in 1Password. That's a cybersecurity and financial control. So now we have media, telecom industry, highly regulated, cybersecurity. In 2023, Mint Mobile, he got in trouble for this. Mint Mobile sold for $1.35 billion to T-Mobile, owned by Dutch, you might say Deutsche Telekom, which is also linked to offshore banking in Luxembourg and Switzerland. In 2024, he invested in Nuvei, a digital payment company tied to Canada's elite financial networks. I didn't mention this, but BlackRock and Fidelity invested $110 million into Maximum Effort, which is it's on the stock, or it's in the SEC as MNTN, which owns Maximum Effort. So there's BlackRock. There are our global elitists that own every single company, and I just heard probably Candace. I've been binging Candace say that she checks Snoops. If you check Snoops, it all still goes back to BlackRock. I'm pretty sure it's BlackRock. It could be Blackstone. That's a baby of BlackRock, but so that means that BlackRock directly funds Ryan. I think he's a pawn. They have direct influence on his marketing and media companies, the cybersecurity, the telecom, and somehow he's still tied to Diddy. We knew that. I feel like his entire brand has been strategically placed within the elite financial networks. Trust me. Anyone who has friends or dads or whatever that flips businesses, even if he put 50 million in, you don't turn it to 610 million. I'm sorry, 610 million in 2 years. This is insider trading. That's how I feel. I feel like this is insider trading. Ryan knows things that he shouldn't know. I mean, come on. The SEC records were also obscure, and the original source of funds for the Aviation Gin is nowhere to be found. They are not public record. But if one of our lovely, beautiful friends finds it, I'll literally give you a high five and a hug, because
Ari Emanuel, big hot shot at WME. Yeah, so every client is on his roster. He's one of those guys that kind of speaks like he thinks that he's in an HBO flick. Like it's Succession. You can tell, Justin baloney, phony, ha 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 ha, I'm so powerful. It's just annoying. Life is not a movie script. Just try being a human being. And so news had broken, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that he had joined the Freakonomics podcast, the Freakonomics radio, and they had done an event that was on stage. People attended this event, and it ran live on their radio, where he had just insulted Justin Baloney and made him feel really small, and obviously did not read the room. And by read the room, I mean read the general public response to people feeling like a bunch of A-list Hollywood bullies need to be shown that bullying is unacceptable.
Not many things I hate, but I hate bullies. If you really want to know the truth, You know what I'm saying? I bully bullies.
And so he didn't read that room and he decided, I'm going to bully him a little bit more and also condemn people on social media and pretend that Ryan and Blake are good people. Even though you're reading your messages and forming your own opinions, I'm going to remind you that we are the media, we have the power, and you should stop doing that. He really just kind of went so far as to say, like, you know, social media has been great, but it's sometimes bad. Why is it bad, Ari? Because we're able to get around your PR agents. We're able to get around your pieces in the Hollywood Reporter and your pieces in TMZ and your pieces in The Cut. Anyways, it was a bad look. It did not make anybody feel more warmed to Blake and Ryan. And now it's interesting because the host of Freakonomics, Stephen Dubner, is now coming out and saying, actually, that episode is never going to air on our podcast. And they're entitling it The Show That Never Happened, and saying that there were just tech issues with the venue during their live show. And they apparently just never recorded that episode. Take a listen to Stephen Dubner.
Our excellent editor, Ellen Frankman, comes up to me with a look on her face that I couldn't quite figure out. In retrospect, she looked really ill. She was shaky. Her face was pale. So I asked her, what's wrong? And she tells me that in addition to the audio failures we had earlier, there was another even bigger failure. The show had not been recorded, she says. And I didn't understand. I asked her to repeat herself. She said, they didn't record the show. At least one journalist had recorded the entire Ari Emanuel interview, but it's iPhone on the lap quality, not radio quality. So we ditched that recreation idea.
Yeah, I'm sure that is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth. That sounds a little bit like Baldoni baloney to me. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
I couldn't find it, and Al helped me. So we have offshore money laundering. That sounds familiar. Let's get back to our friend CIA. Let's see here. All right. So Ryan is connected. He has BlackRock connections. BlackRock runs the entire world. BlackRock is dark side, deep state, Illuminati. Their goal and mission that they believe in, they are a satanic, it's founded on satanic beliefs, which is that you are, I had to call the Church of Satan because I was raised Catholic and I just needed to understand it. Their belief is different than other people's. I mean, there is no empathy. Human life is not sacred. They see humans as disposable. Wait until we get to the section, not in this recording, but when we talk about not consenting adults getting all kinds of stuff. We'll get to that. That's part of MK Ultra later. Okay, so Ryan's very highly connected. These are not by accident. Ryan, I didn't find any technical evidence of him being in CIA or that in MK Ultra, but I have not. I've only heard of survivors coming out and because they started remembering. So all of our connections to BlackRock, Fidelity, everything's being secret and hidden and offshore accounts. This looks much less like a celebrity scandal and a lot more like high-level elite chess. Because there are major corporations and political interests involved, the second I started looking into Ryan Reynolds' financials, and it led me straight to BlackRock. I mean, we're not playing in... these are different leagues. These aren't even the same leagues. So let's just get back to Baldoni. He isn't just suing Blake and Ryan. He is going after $400 million. Their net worth. They're literally, if he looked at their financial statement, I think he might be $1 million off. Their net worth together is about right around $400 million. So and this is what I think. Justin's backer is a billionaire named Steve Sarowitz. He's the founder of Paylocity, and his net worth is $2.5 billion. Sarowitz, I think Sarowitz and Baldoni are the light, just like Karen is divinely chosen to go against that dark side. I think that Justin Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz are also the divinely chosen ones to go against this dark side. Steve Sarowitz wants this fight in open court. He will not settle. He got pissed and he made a few derogatory comments, but if you look at it in a bigger picture, what he is saying is like, I will destroy them. He does not want a quiet deal. Money doesn't matter to him. He would pump, according to him, in the last statement I saw, millions of dollars into this. He wants everything out in the light. I think that these two were also divinely chosen to go against the darkness because no one else could have stood up to them. Plus, if you look at any of Baldoni's websites, Steve Sarowitz stuff, it's literally light and love. And I think what Justin was saying was awesome. Like, he just wants love, like universal love, the law of one, the I am that I am. Not the dark side law of one, because they don't have any creativity. The dark side hijacks everything, words, everything. The word Lucifer, they hijacked that whole thing. I'll tell you about that someday. So Steve Sarowitz and Justin Baldoni want this fight very public, very open, out for everyone to see. But why? What's this game plan? Well, Blake Lively strategically leaked her not filed lawsuit to Megan Twohey. Megan Twohey. Well, I looked into Megan, and Megan's story, she is an investigative reporter at the New York Times. She previously reported for Rutgers, that is straight up BlackRock, part of the, what's the doctor for the shot? He should be in prison. He is getting charged. I can't remember the doctor's name. He's not even a real doctor, I don't think, but he's also, lawyers are bringing crimes against humanity for the last shot. Megan Twohey's dad reported for Rutgers, the Chicago Tribune, remember that, and the Milwaukee Journal Centennial. Her parents were both involved in news media. Shocker. Her mother, Mary Jane Twohey, was a television news reporter, and her father, John Twohey, was an editor for the, wait for it, Chicago Tribune. Hey, Nepo baby. That's fine if you're a Nepo baby, but there's an interesting connection there. This ensured that the public opinion was controlled and anti-Baldoni before Baldoni even had a chance, like right out of the gate. This is not just PR. This is high-level narrative engineering. I wouldn't be surprised if they were already working with Nick Shapiro and they recently made it public. But this is the kind of media manipulation that a CIA agent would be trained in and specialize in, even if he's an ex-CIA agent because he doesn't want to work for Trump or however that looked. I do have a video of Nick Shapiro talking about trust. Sure, buddy. So we are now going to jump to let's go through what we have. In conclusion, what we do know is that Ryan Reynolds is a quote-unquote businessman, quote-unquote actor, who had, I think, inside trading, or is just on face or a name or a frontman for bigger other product or projects. Like, I think that the reason that Steve and Baldoni want this in the public is they want it all to come to the light. Like, from everything I found, Steve made his money. There are no nothing. There's like not, he didn't get in trouble. He didn't, trust me, he hasn't need to call the CIA to help him get out of it. I think what it's also showing us is like the lines between, fairy and imaginary Hollywood and cutthroat business. And it's not cutthroat like climbing a corporate ladder. This is like straight up murder. I mean, his boss, Nick Shapiro's boss, just said that he doesn't care about human life. Okay. So in conclusion, Ryan's finances are deeply intertwined with offshore banking, intelligence-linked corporations, and hidden wealth systems. Blake knows exactly what's going on, and I think she's making strategic moves, either to protect her assets or Ryan's assets. I've been saying this whole time, she's the driver. He is not smart. From what I've seen, he is a good soldier. And the narrative to hire a ex-CIA agent, she wants to manage the narrative. So what? Everyone's already onto the CIA narratives. I'd like to give a shout out to our WikiLeaks friend. We would never know any of this. To me, this is not a celebrity feud. This is a power struggle between elite fractions that are operating behind the scenes. We will never see them. These are the backdoor dark side we will never see. I've never, even if we find their name, it's not the top. There's no real one top. It's a power struggle. And Blake's move signals that she understands how deep this goes. With Ryan's financial trajectory showing that he didn't just get lucky. I know a lot of very successful businessmen who worked in a lot of big companies, and not one of them have ever. This is like Nancy Pelosi. She's not just making great financial decisions. She is like the best financial planner, whatever. This is what it is. That's what we're looking at. Isn't Nancy Pelosi on crack? Right in front of our face. And I just posted a short the other day that she's an actress. So that's nice. This isn't a power struggle between two feuding actors. It is a power struggle between the elite factions operating and controlling everything behind the scenes. Ryan didn't just get lucky. Someone funded him. We can't find it, and if any of our dear friends probably outside of America, you'd have better luck finding it, because what is this? We know how I feel about that. This story isn't about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This is deep. This is dark side, light side, but we're really getting to watch it play out in front of us. Baldoni and Steve have nothing to hide. Bring it to the light. Yeah, let's fight this in open court. Blake and Ryan are dark side. I've said that before. And they do have stuff to hide. This is really about the media, money, and how intelligence networks shape public perception while money laundering and moving billions of dollars behind the scenes. So for me, the reason you'd bring in a CIA crisis manager is because you have CIA size problems. Like I said, you don't just call the CIA in for a little oopsie, we got in a fight. No. I mean, Sony is involved. All of these dark side companies are involved, and they want to keep this. I mean, their names, they're so far removed from it. But as soon as anyone says BlackRock, hopefully everyone understands what it means. And to me, that is I don't even like to say it, Luciferian. I'll just call it satanic worship. Human sacrifice, child sacrifice. Oh, I have another video coming. That's what I was going to bring into this one. But it was getting so long. I recorded this like 7 times because I keep recording it and then falling down another one. But this time I'm just going to get it out and then take us down the next rabbit hole. But with that, I will love you and leave you. Thank you guys so much for coming, liking, subscribing, doing all the things. And I will see you in the next one.